Hello people of the internet, welcome. I am KICdude, and today I want to go ahead and talk about this thing that's kind of been going up on YouTube lately. And it's been a lot time coming. A lot of people have also already made videos on this. PewDiePie already made a video on it, and he's already clarified his statement on it. But at the same time, he made some points amongst all the randomness that he did that I think that are very valid, and he's also said the same thing. Some of the points that people make on Patreon are very valid, but at the same time, it's a big conversation that's come up just lately. And why should people do it? How should people do it? You know, all this big old hubble jubble. So first and foremost, what is Patreon? Well, I would say in the grand scheme of things, it's outside hell for people on YouTube. That being artists, that being musicians, people who don't make things that can last 30 minutes or above. And so why is this? Why do people do this? Why do people on the outside make videos and put them up on do all these things, right? Why do people do all these things to get themselves on Patreon? Well, it's really it is about supporting themselves. A lot of people have realized that over the years, maybe YouTube isn't the best strategy to get the most out of YouTube, reluctantly enough. And amongst all the randomness, PewDiePie made some very excellent points. And if you go not frame by frame, but if you go scene by scene, as I want to call it, you can totally understand what he's saying. So he starts off the video by saying he's broke. And the second thing is, well, I don't have any money. Somebody started trying to buy something. I think this is like a deleted video, but it's still there. He goes on to do all these random bits that he has and review videos and people on Patreon. And amongst all this, he makes some excellent points that have been, you know, he basically in his video is very like obviously looking at you in the face. Like if it wasn't him doing all this satirical crap, it's literally him looking at the face and being like, you shouldn't be doing this on Patreon. This is your form of trying to get money, and you're doing this. So that's exactly what he was trying to point out. But he tried to be all funny about it, which is, dude, props. I can't do that crap. I don't have the mind for it. Then, and he does make a good point at the end where saying that it's a good place for artists to support themselves through their fans if they want to. What? Like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it means that you give the people money that you want to give money to, not the advertisers that are on the videos that are now trying to regulate what YouTube can produce. And it sounds so weird to say that way, but it could be coming true. I don't have a problem with it. I've been family friendly for as long as I've been on YouTube, and I've aimed to be that way for the longest time. I make videos and music for all. When people say, what does that mean? It means literally what it is. Paying somebody directly, like a subscription service, sort of, to keep the person that you want up there. That's how that works. It's sort of like lobbying for your favorite YouTuber. So when do people do this? Alright? And this is a big question. When should you do this? That's the big question. Should. The should is very important. When should you do this? And you know, the greatest example of this, I would say in my personal opinion, would be Mr. Grade A Under A. He had such a boom in popularity, literally a boom in popularity, that when I first saw him, he was at about 1 million subscribers. Just about. Not even over. About. And it's crazy, right? So he had such a boom in popularity that he set up a Patreon to see if he could do it full time. And then he wasn't able to update it. That shows you how fast he boomed. That he was going so fast, so at it, and he wasn't able to keep up with his own demand. And then like, dude, like I'm serious, okay? So this is me gushing on Grade A Under A right now, that since he has been such a boom in popularity, he hasn't been able to make videos the way he's used to. He used to making them. He's used to making them more frequently, but now it's getting more taxing on him. He can't make it as comedic as he used to. He posted recently on Twitter. He literally just typed out, "Hey, I'm going through a little rough patch in my brain right now. I recognize that the thing I did, this recent video, was a little crap. I need to go ahead and maybe hesitate a little bit more on my videos, make them a little bit more of a longer gap between them, so that I'm able to make more quality content rather than this crappy crap that you guys just got." And, you know, down to earth, dude. You rock on with that argument. You can do that with all you want. I have no problem with that whatsoever. The one thing that people might criticize you for is, you know, the amount of videos you produce now. But, you know, that's besides the point. Like, you can go ahead and say all you want, but Grady Underraid really doesn't give a crap about what you say about him, just as long as you are telling the truth, I guess is what the truth is, you know? That's one of the only examples I really have. Another example I would have that isn't really of Patreon, but it's more of an outside help thing, would be Mr. Philip DeFranco. He himself has even said that, hey, this YouTube crap is going on. I don't have to worry about it because there's so many glorious companies that are willing to just sponsor me and just let me promote them without having this gigantic advertiser-friendly kerfuffle going on, which is amazing. You know, he himself, another down-to-earth person, probably doesn't have a Patreon, but he has a lot of external help. With good reason too. He makes a news, and he doesn't want to be censored by the news. So he and his team have 100% gotten outside help from other sources to fill in the gaps where they are needed. And the overall question everybody asks, and I don't think this is why people don't understand this, but why? Everyone asks why? Why even do a Patreon? You're on YouTube. You're getting that sweet YouTube money. Well, to be fair, the rise of AdBlock and AdBlock Plus and crap like this, especially recently where AdBlock thought that they could beat the system and offer people money to not have money. And it defeats the purpose of the freaking service. It does. I don't even use AdBlock myself because I don't really want to bother with all that crap, but at the same time, it's not even a viable way of removing malware. It's not even a reliable way of removing ads. Especially now that they're going to start putting ads on ad blocker. Oh, what the freak, you know? But that's a whole other video altogether. I probably might do that later. Really, now it comes down to, where do I fit in this? Since I'm a musician, I'm going to open up the bracket and say, where do musicians or artists fit into this? Well, the big question is, do I believe in Patreon? And sorry to say this, I really don't. The reason why I don't is very convoluted, and it only fits in my brain, but the main reason is I believe that you should only buy the stuff that the artists make and not the time they making the thing that you're going to buy. So if you guys don't get that thing, I'm going to open up to layman's terms so you can understand it. Another way to say this is buy the thing that is made, not buy the process in which it has been made. So that's where I fit into this, alright? You don't go to McDonald's to buy the time that they make the burger in. You go to McDonald's to buy the burger. And that's where I fit into this. That's where I fit in, okay? It may not make sense. It may be weird. But I feel like you should be buying the stuff I make rather than just paying me for whatever. I feel like you're just throwing money to the wind at that point. I don't want people wasting their money on things that aren't even things they can hold or things they can listen to, entertain, be happy about. So that's where I fit into this, okay? That's the whole, like, where I fit in. And for artists, it makes more sense because there's more time in artistry than there is in what would be in a music standpoint. But at the same time, I can spend months on a track sometimes and then not get any money back. Sometimes when artists take longer on their stuff, sometimes they're wasting time. They won't make the return back. I feel that if you make music, you should be getting paid for your music. So that's what I do. I try to always lead people back to my website to buy the music that I produce. So like this Monday, this video is up, right? Next Monday, my music goes up, and my music has already been placed on my website. As soon as I produce it, it's on my website. And every bit of music I have on my channel is on my website. And that's the way you can support me. I don't believe that Patreon is a good way to support your artists if the thing that they're making is a thing you could buy to support them already. And I make two things of music, alright? 2 tracks of music a month. So to say that I don't make music is like saying that I don't make these videos. And the only reason I make these videos is because I record my process. I started recording my process a long time ago, but I decided to just put it up on YouTube and talk over it rather than anything else. And I use that time to make commentary on things that have happened. Do I support Patreon? Not really. I really don't. It's not thing that I think is a viable solution to a thing that I'm already making. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Like I said, it's your choice to do it whenever you want to do it. You can do it. But at the same time, going back to the earlier thing that I said about PewDiePie's video where he makes some very valid points, there are people who make stuff for Patreon that doesn't really have a lot to do with anything. He made the video specifically satirical, but if he had a monitor, if you could see his face or if you had like a meme of what that had, the top caption would be, "Really? You're making this?" And on the bottom it would say, "This is your source of revenue, and you're making a fool of yourself by doing these things." It's a really serious thing that he goes into. It's like super serious, but he just points out the bad things that people are doing on the website. Like, for example, having a Skype chat with person of interest. I don't find that entertaining. I find that annoying. I don't understand the whole concept of trying to talk to the person you like. Just support them in the way that they do it. Yeah, people want a personally signed thing sometimes from people of a higher stature than them, but at the same time, it's kind of creepy to think that that's the thing that you want. Personally, in your face, in a Skype chat, with a private room where nobody else can see. That's just you. I find that creepy. So the main thing I want to say to all of this, in general, all my final thoughts are, going down the list, why do people do it? Supporting themselves. What does that mean? You support the people that you want on top to stay on top. Like, I'm going to quote Philip DeFranco. You can control capitalism with your money. You don't like a company? Stop buying their crap. When you can do it whenever you want, but people typically do it when they want to start doing YouTube or trying to do a certain thing for full time. Do I believe in the system? No, I don't. I believe that you should buy the artist for what they have already made rather than the time it took to make it. Do I think that musicians should do that? Sure, I guess. But at the same time, if you want the music that is in the background, you can go ahead and 100% just go to my website, and I have almost every single bit of music on my channel on my website, so you don't have to worry about it. You really don't. That's where I fall in the Patreon business. And if you believe I don't make music, well, I posted 2 videos 2 weeks ago, and one of them was a commentary, and the other one was the music of the commentary, basically the thing you see in the background. And I want to start doing it to where I put it every other Monday, or this one's gonna be the commentary on what I want to talk about, and the next week it'll be the music. That way you don't get overrun by 2 videos in one day. I usually post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna try to keep to that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I stream on Friday, and the video is up live, so it's technically a video. So final thoughts. Do I support Patreon? Nah, really don't. Buy my music. Don't buy the time I making the music. Don't think that's weird. Do I believe everyone should have one? If you want to do it, go ahead. I don't think it's a bad idea. I do think people that do it have a reason to do it, and go ahead and do it. Do you. I'm not your mom. If you like this discussion, and if you want to hear more, love me, and I'll love you back. Because I will see you guys next time. Actually, did you know I have a website? I know it's crazy, but you can visit it at www.KICdude.com right now if you want to. It'll be in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen if you want to click it, but you can go there if you want to go ahead and support me with my music and or anything else if you want to find it over there. So go visit it, okay? Now back to the outro.